There was a deal done in the Aussie tech space today, and here to talk about some of that, local tech firm Jaxsta inked a deal with
Universal and Warner.
And Warner. Well, there you go, two for the price of one. We might have skipped the intro and just welcome Jacqui to the program. Jacqui Louez Schoorl, thanks very much for joining us, the CEO and co-founder of Jaxsta. Before we get into the deal and the market reaction, just for those unaware of Jaxsta, just give us the background.
So if you think back to when you would listen to a piece of music and you'd have vinyl or the CD booklet or the tape deck that came with the jacket that came with the music,
Yep.
It would tell you who produced the song, who co-wrote it, who was the drummer, who was bass player, backing vocalist. And with the evolution of digital music, like streaming services, we've lost all of that beautiful information of who was behind the music. And credit where credit is due in the music industry is critically important. Data drives decisions. People can't get jobs if they haven't been credited on a previous, piece of music. And if you think about smart speakers, the large percentage of requests to Amazon Alexa are, play me Bohemian Rhapsody, or who produced this track, who played drums on this track. And all of those services want really accurate information. So we're building the world's largest official database of all of that incredibly important information.
How does it work? Because I can't remember the name of the song. So is it adapted to people like me? Can I hum into it and it'll give me the song back? But I mean, how does that work in terms of understanding the data that I need to search for?
Absolutely. So are you familiar with the platform IMDb, the International
Yes.
Movie Database? Okay. What we're building is that for music, but all official information. So you can go in and search any song, any producer, any artist, any songwriter.
Who's it aimed towards? I mean, why would... I don't mean to sound ignorant of these
Sure.
things, but why would I want to know who might maybe produced a song that I heard? Or is it not for me? Is it for the...
No, James, to be fair, that's a really valid question. So for some of the general public, they won't care, but there are those fans that do. IMDb, for example, have 250 million unique views per month.
Right.
That's how many people want to know information about films. And they have roughly 6.5 million titles in their database. We've ingested Sony's catalogue and a large number of indies and the Grammys, and we already have over 14 million individual songs and their data in our database. We haven't ingested Universal or Warner yet because we just signed them, but that brings us to over 80% of the music industry's data. So if you work in the industry, that information is critical to you. It would be like a Bloomberg dashboard for you.
Yep.
It's that critical to our industry. But also we have all these fans that love music, that want to know who was involved.
I could see another way that it plays out, because I've got older children than you, and they will say, I really love this artist. And you sort of try to remember that, because then when they're not around, you might actually listen to what they listen to to get a sense of what they're then talking about. So you go, that one song, that's all you know, but they might have an array of different bits of music. So you can put on your Spotify, you can say, okay, search by that person, whatever it might be. So it's a good idea.
That's exactly it, sorry.
Yeah, aside from subscriber growth, what is the key factor that's driving profitability going forward? I mean, is it getting access to all the different data sets and inputting those into the system, or?
We have a couple of areas in that regard. So we'll be launching a B2B product which will go to market probably in July, which is like our industry's equivalent of LinkedIn meets Bloomberg. And we don't have anything like that in the industry. We have a practical market of at least 250,000 individuals, but there's an addressable market of 4 million. And then our commercial API, which will service things like Amazon Alexa, we'll be launching that to market in the last quarter of this year.
And just explain then how the deal with Universal and Warner came about, the significance of it, and I can't help but note, I mean, the stock's up 22% today, 70% for the week. I see you smiling. I'm not surprised you're smiling, but just explain sort of the progression that you've seen in terms of signing these big labels.
You know, it's been a long road. It's taken us some years to sign these major houses. We signed the Grammys, then Sony, then Universal, and then Warner. And the significance is it's not lost on us, and it's incredibly important, because our database will be the first official database in the world, in the history of our industry, to have accurate information about who's involved in a recording. So even if you think past the money side of it, just historically what we're creating is incredibly important. It's taken time to negotiate with these amazing companies. You know, one deal alone was 22 face-to-face meetings over 2 years.
Goodness.
But we're dealing with huge organisations that get pitched things every week. They need to know that you are the real deal, and I don't just mean myself, the whole team. There's a whole team of us working on this. That you know, it gives us the ability to really run forward.
How did it come about? You know,
Long story
in the
short.
garage, you know.
Yeah, long story short, I started volunteering in television when I was 13, progressed to the film industry when I was a teenager, thought I'd take a gap year and kept working on film, and eventually transitioned to the music industry. And in film we had the asset IMDb. And when I transitioned to music, we just didn't have an accurate database that gave us the information of who'd worked on these albums. You know, the average album, 250 individuals will work on that to get it to market. And I can guarantee you that most people wouldn't be able to name 3 people that worked on the album. Yet all these individuals create the music to our lives. They need to be credited.
All right,
Fantastic.
Jacqui, we got to leave with that. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time this afternoon. And for those wondering as well, JXT is the ticker code if you want to take a look.